Welcome to FairPlay, Football AI Review. South Korea came from behind to claim a vital 3 points, defeating Czech Republic 2-1 in a match that twisted and turned through the final half hour at Estadio Akron in Guadalajara. This was Group A's second fixture of the 2026 World Cup, and the stakes were immediately clear. South Korea needed a win to establish themselves as genuine contenders in a group that already included Mexico, who had taken maximum points on opening day. For Czech Republic, this was equally urgent. A loss here would leave them bottom of the group with a mountain to climb against South Africa and Mexico to follow. The pre-match narrative centered heavily on Son Heung-min, the captain leading South Korea at what is almost certainly his last World Cup. Hong Myung-bo, the former defensive legend now in the manager's chair, had publicly backed his skipper to deliver in these high-pressure moments. Meanwhile, Czech Republic's coach Miroslav Kubek was aware that Patrik Schick, their most dangerous forward, had not been at his sharpest coming into the tournament, with the Czechs drawing against Denmark and dropping points against the Faroe Islands in their final European preparations. Hong Myung-bo set South Korea up in a 3-4-2-1 formation, using Kim Min-jae as the anchor of a back three alongside Lee Han-beom and Lee Gi-hyuk. The wide midfield roles gave the system its width, with Seo Young-woo and Lee Tae-seok providing the energy on either flank. Behind Son Heung-min in the single striker role, Kang-in Lee and Jae-sung Lee operated as the creative pair in the 2-10 positions, tasked with connecting the midfield engine room to the attack. Kubek mirrored the shape almost exactly, setting Czech Republic up in their own 3-4-2-1. Thomas Souček anchored the midfield alongside Alexander Sojka, providing the physical platform behind a front unit of Lukas Provod and Pavel Sok supporting Patrik Schick. Captain Ladislav Krejci led the back three, with Vladimir Koufal carrying real threat on the right as a wing-back with the quality to deliver from wide areas. The tactical duel between these two mirror formations created a fascinating structural battle in the central zones. South Korea's midfield three of Hwang In-beom, Paik Seung-ho, and the wider runners were asked to dominate possession and recycle through the thirds, while Czech Republic looked to win the second ball through Souček and exploit transitions. The key mismatch emerged on Czech Republic's right side, where Koufal's energy and delivery ability repeatedly threatened the Korean defensive structure. South Korea began with clear territorial dominance, moving the ball with confidence through the thirds and establishing the 62% possession share that would define the match statistically. However, the Czechs were not passive. Their 42 dangerous attacks across the 90 minutes told the story of a team willing to hurt on the counter, and in the first half, their defensive organization gave the Korean attack surprisingly little space to operate cleanly. Son Heung-min produced the best opportunity of the opening period in the 39th minute, receiving in a dangerous position only to fire wide when the chance demanded a crisper connection. Then in the 56th minute, Son found himself through again, this time in an even more threatening position, but Czech goalkeeper Matej Kovar stood tall and produced a sharp save to deny the Korean captain. Those two moments framed the first half story perfectly. South Korea on top, Czech Republic's goalkeeper keeping them level. Despite South Korea's pressure, it was Czech Republic who broke the deadlock on 59 minutes. Vladimir Koufal launched a long throw-in from deep on the right flank. The delivery arced perfectly into the 6-yard area, and Captain Ladislav Krejci arrived to plant a firm header to the right of the net. It was a set-piece goal executed with composure and precision, and it shifted the entire dynamic of the match in an instant, rewarding the Czechs' defensive resilience with a lead they had barely threatened to earn through open play. South Korea's response was immediate and purposeful. Hong Myung-bo introduced Hee-chan Hwang for Jae-sung Lee on 62 minutes, clearly seeking an extra attacking runner behind Son to stretch the Czech defensive block. The substitution injected urgency into the Korean play, and within 5 minutes the pressure had produced its reward. South Korea's response was immediate and purposeful. Hong Myung-bo introduced Hee-chan Hwang for Jae-sung Lee on 62 minutes, clearly seeking an extra attacking runner behind Son to stretch the Czech defensive block. The substitution injected urgency into the Korean play, and within 5 minutes the pressure had produced its reward. 7 minutes after the equalizer came Kubek's bold triple substitution, bringing on Tomasz Chori, Adam Hlozek, and Michal Sadilek simultaneously at 64 minutes for Szyk, Sulk, and Provod. It was a clear statement of intent, 3 attacking replacements designed to recapture the lead, but the structural disruption it caused in Czech Republic's shape would prove costly. South Korea then made their own double change on 69 minutes, Ji Sung-eom replacing Lee Tae-seok and, most notably, Oh Hyun-gyu coming on for Sun Heung-min. Withdrawing your captain and talisman at 69 minutes with the game level required conviction from Hong Myung-bo, and it sent a message about the physical management of his most important player in what lies ahead in this tournament. The most dramatic moment of the second half came in the 77th minute when Tomasz Susek appeared to head Czech Republic back in front from a free kick, but the goal was ruled out swiftly for offside. Replays confirmed the decision was correct, though the Czech bench were momentarily jubilant before reality intervened. South Korea struck the decisive blow on 80 minutes. Hwang In-beom, still on the pitch and still influencing everything, crossed low and purposefully from the right side. Substitute Oh Hyun-gyu arrived at the back post with perfect timing and swept a left-footed finish from 6 yards into the left of the net. 2-1 to South Korea, and the turnaround was complete. 2 minutes later, goalkeeper Kim Sung-gyu produced a vital save, getting down sharply to his right to deny Adam Hlozek at close range and preserve the Korean lead. Then in stoppage time at 93 minutes, he saved again, this time from Michal Sadilek, to emphatically secure all 3 points and signal the full extent of his contribution to the victory. The solitary card of the match came in the 90th minute when Lee Gi-hyuk barged cynically through the side of Hlozek to break up a Czech Republic attack as the clock ran down. It was a calculated foul, typical of the tactical discipline that can save a narrow lead late on, though the referee was rightly unimpressed and produced the yellow. The decisive moment in this match was not a single goal or save. It was Hwang In-beom's decision to ask his coach to stay on the pitch rather than accept his planned substitution in the 60th minute. That choice, rooted in competitive instinct rather than physical caution, produced the equalizer that swung the entire psychological momentum of the game and set up everything that followed. South Korea's 62% possession and 87% pass accuracy from 541 attempted passes was genuinely dominant ball retention, not manufactured statistics. Their 522-meter differential in total passing versus Czech Republic's 327 reflected a team that controlled tempo and territory throughout. It is the kind of possession that wins World Cup group stage matches. With 15 shots in total to Czech Republic's 7 and an expected goals figure of 1.82 against the Czechs' 1.04, the attacking statistics painted a clear picture. South Korea were the more dangerous team across 90 minutes, and the 6 shots on target to 4 in their favor was an accurate reflection of that superiority. Czech Republic created genuine danger on the counter. Their 42 dangerous attacks are evidence of that, but their overall threat was more opportunistic than sustained. Defensively, Kim Min-jae was authoritative at the heart of the Korean back three, commanding the aerial duels and organizing the defensive shape through the difficult period following the Czech goal. For Czech Republic, goalkeeper Matej Kovar made 4 saves and kept his side in the contest during the first hour, but he was unable to prevent either Korean goal, the first a moment of individual brilliance, the second a consequence of his side's structural fragility after the triple substitution. Hwang In-beom was the outstanding performer on the South Korean side and arguably the best player on the pitch. He scored the equalizer with a finish of breathtaking technique, provided the assist for the winner, and did all of this while managing a return from a 4-month injury absence. The courage to stay on when his body might have been warning him to rest made his individual contribution all the more remarkable. For Czech Republic, Tomáš Souček worked tirelessly in central midfield and was central to almost every positive moment his team generated, winning headers, driving forward, and almost scoring the goal that would have changed everything before the offside flag ended that dream. His energy and competitive instinct were the one area where the Czechs genuinely matched their opponents. The player who underperformed on the night was Patrik Schick. Selected as Czech Republic's principal striker, he was replaced as early as 64 minutes, having made limited impact on the Korean backline. With Kim Min-jae dominant in the air and alert to Schick's movement, the Bayer Leverkusen striker never truly found the space or service needed to threaten, and his substitution felt inevitable rather than tactical. Hong Myung-bo's management of Hwang In-beom was the defining decision of the match, even if it ultimately went in his favor, despite his own original instincts. The decision to bring on Oh Hyun-gyu for Sun at 69 minutes was brave and tactical, and it paid off immediately in the form of the winning goal. Kubek's triple substitution at 64 minutes was bold, but it fractured the Czech shape at a moment when the game was still level and potentially winnable. This was only the second competitive meeting between these two nations in recorded recent history, and South Korea's win gives them a psychological edge in what is an emerging fixture between two football cultures from very different continents. The result continues a pattern of South Korean resilience and ability to turn matches in the final quarter, a quality that has defined their best World Cup performances. South Korea arrived in Guadalajara, having lost just one of their last 10 matches, winning 7, and their World Cup qualification campaign through Asian football saw them accumulate a formidable points record. The squad is in good shape physically, though the management of Son Heung-min and Hwang In-beom's minutes will be watched carefully given their respective fitness histories leading into this tournament. Czech Republic's recent form was a concern before a ball was kicked here. A loss to the Faroe Islands, a heavy 5-1 defeat to Croatia, and their mixed European qualifying performances had raised questions about this squad's consistency at the highest level. This defeat confirms those doubts and leaves Kubek's side in a very difficult position with South Africa and Mexico to come. After one game each, Group A is taking shape quickly. Mexico sit atop with 3 points, South Korea are level with them on 3 points in second, while Czech Republic and South Africa are both on 0. South Korea now face Mexico away on the 19th of June in what could be a match-deciding encounter for group leadership, and then South Africa on the 25th. Czech Republic host South Africa on the 18th before facing Mexico at home to close their group campaign. South Korea's remaining fixtures are challenging. Mexico away is as difficult an assignment as this group offers. But this win gives Hong Myung-bo's team enormous confidence and a cushion to work with. Czech Republic face what might be their final lifeline against South Africa, and will need the result that their open play struggled to generate here. Mexico's performance against South Africa will also be critical context as the group picture evolves. South Korea have the quality, the structure, and now the belief to reach the knockout stages. This victory against Czech Republic is exactly the kind of difficult, character-defining result that defines successful World Cup campaigns. Czech Republic's path is narrow. They need wins in both remaining fixtures and will almost certainly need other results to go their way. This was a match that had everything: tactical discipline, individual brilliance, a controversial disallowed goal, crucial late saves, and a story arc that turned on one player's decision to stay on the pitch when others might have stepped off. Welcome once more to FairPlay, Football AI Review. We will be back as Group A continues to unfold, with Mexico against another test that could define who tops this group and who faces the harder half of the bracket. Do not miss it. That's the FairPlay verdict on this one. If you want more analysis like this, follow us. Find us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at FairPlay AI, and follow Anthony personally on X at Anthony Fairplay. See you next match.